guys? Welcome back to another episode on the Dynamic Lifestyle Podcast. Solo round time, isn't it, Chris?
It sure is, Eric. I'm just trying to make sure, double check that these mics are on because
the mics are good to go. That's always my job, is to just be the audio guy. So I am good to go.
Eric hurt his ankle this past couple of weeks.
Quick story. Okay, so I got to tell that quick story.
His mind hasn't been there.
It'll be about a little over 2 weeks when we put this podcast out. But long story short, I went to go play basketball on a Sunday afternoon, and the competitive nature of myself came out. I thought I was, Allen Iverson for a minute, and I wanted to sit there and cross people up. But the long story is that, I went up for a jump shot. It was game point, and I don't know what happened after that. I can't remember. It happened so fast to where I literally planted my foot, and then I accelerated to go get the rebound, and the rest was history. And then I was just, not that I was in excruciating pain or anything, but I felt something pull or something roll. I'm taking it day by day and icing it, babying it, doing everything they're telling me to do. The acronym RICE. What is it? Rest, ice, elevate, compression and elevation. So I'm doing all that and just hobbling around in crutches. So I still got my health. I'm healthy. I'm good to go. I'm trying to stay optimistic. Chris has been a very, very good support system and helping me. So I'm good. I'm ready to roll.
Yeah, and the truth is, man, I learned from your mistakes, right? You're the bigger brother, and I think I'm ready to hang up my jersey for basketball for a while, especially trying to play 3-on-3 like that. I'm good with shooting around and stuff, getting a little sweat, burning some calories, having some fun, but I think I'll stay away from the 3-on-3 game just by learning from what happened to you.
Yep, lesson learned.
Yep. All right,
let's what are we talking about today?
Okay, guys, so this is going to be kind of the second sub-episode of the business ROI of being fit. So if you guys want to go back and listen to the introduction of that is episode 159. And I'm going to always kind of start these off with kind of the reason why we're doing these, right? Mm-hmm. So again, it's going back to kind of investing in your health and your physical health and your fitness, because you're going to get a return on investment in your business, right?
Yeah.
And we're speaking to basically the entrepreneur, the high business professional, the busy person, within their work and career and stuff like that. That's who we're kind of speaking to on this. And the reason being because we've seen the past decade, being entrepreneurs ourselves, business persons, people ourselves, going to conferences, going, through masterminds, we've seen how people put their health on the back burner just to sit there and say, I need to get my bank account more fit and muscular, which means more money. I need to chase the next project, the next shiny object, and then I'll flip the switch and then I'll get in shape. Mm-hmm. And what we basically said when we started this business ROI being fit is it's not cool anymore being out of shape. It's a bad representation of your brand being physically unfit, right? And it carries over into your energy, your confidence, your networking, your brand, your physical appearance on camera, So that's kind of why we started this category of the business ROI being fit. We started off the first one going over the whole intro, episode 159, and now we're in episode 164, which is the second kind of sub, episode under that. And today we're going to be talking about the best diet and exercise program to make you play at a higher performer, or a higher performer in your lifestyle. Right, so I'm excited about it.
I love it, yeah. And I would literally face you, but I can't because I have my foot elevated, so I'm trying to maneuver back and forth. But the struggle with this right now, but making it work. But no, I'm excited about talking about this. And again, we're just getting warmed up with this whole series of the business ROI being fit. And again, it's just to bring awareness to putting your health at the forefront with everything. And I'm just tired of seeing people put health at the back burner and just not making it a priority. So let's talk about that a little bit. So with being the best diet, and what's going to be, what we call realistic, enjoyable, and flexible, right? That's an acronym that we learned from one of our mentors, Eric Helms,
right.
of 3DMJ. So I want to give credit where credit is due with that, because to me it's a brilliant acronym.
And let me stop you really quick, and then you can get into the concept of that. But before we kind of get into that, I just want people to understand like that there is no quote unquote best diet or exercise program out there, you know, and we've known that for now working with thousands of clients, you know, online, in person, working with higher level mentors, doing our own research, digging into the scientific literature. I mean, everything you can possibly think about. There is no best diet or exercise program. It really, the magic bullet is what can you be consistent with and adherent to for days, weeks, months, and years on end. That's the best quote unquote exercise and diet program out there.
I absolutely agree. And there's always like a lot of like dogma out there in black and white thinking of, oh, this camp is better, like a paleo, keto, intermittent fasting, macros, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's unfortunate that's the way it is, because I mean people just take it too far. But I mean, like you said, it's really what that person can adhere to, and really just actually enjoy for the long haul.
Exactly.
Right. That's what's really key in my opinion. So back to just that acronym REF. Right. So realistic, enjoyable, and flexible. So write that down. Put it on your fridge. Put it on your computer when you wake up. That's what you really need to follow. And it's such a simple thing, just that realistic, enjoyable, and flexible concept, right? So if I were to say, someone asked me, what do you mean by realistic? So what I mean by realistic is like, can you follow this diet program, this nutrition program, right? Is it realistic for your lifestyle, like your priorities, like your schedule? I mean, your kids, your family, everything. Is it realistic? Can you follow it? I don't know if it's like 1 meal, 2 meals, 3 meals, 4 meals, snacks, but is it realistic? Can you really do it and fit this into your lifestyle? The E, enjoyable, right? So again, it's the same concept of exercise. You have to enjoy it and look forward to actually wanting to eat these foods or these meals that you're prepping, or else it's like you're gonna go off and binge on the weekend and you're going to create bad habits, an eating disorder, and it's going to turn into a vicious cycle. I've seen it through so many clients. So it has to be enjoyable, right? You have to be able to eat the foods that you want in moderation and not sit there and suffocate yourself and just really deprive yourself. So the next part is that leads into flexibility, right? So we like preaching the 80-20 rule, with people. So, what does that mean, right? I'm laughing because we're in an office and we see the girls walking back and forth, and they just had like a big like pitcher of like alcohol, like beverages, like beers,
and
wine.
It's because it's a Friday too.
Yeah, it's really warm outside. It's nice. So I was like, ooh, that caught my attention. I'm sorry. So yeah, and there you go. Back to the flexibility aspect, because I preach flexibility. It's like I can have a couple of alcoholic beverages in moderation and not fall off track and still get my results and enjoy life. So yeah, like we said, we preach the 80-20 rule, where it's like 80%, whole and minimally refined food sources, right? And 20% is the quote unquote bullshit or the bad foods for you, which it's such a bad way to just phrase that, but that's what I'm talking about, the flexibility.
Yeah, and an exercise type of example for the 80-20 rules, 80% can be really focusing on like those compound movements and the exercise selection that's really going to give you your best bang for your buck, and an extra 20% in your exercise program can be stuff that's just like free flowing it. Maybe go take a class, maybe do like boxing, maybe do some sort of circuit style training like 1 day a week or something like that. So that's kind of what we preach, the 80-20 rule. And if you guys want more information on the 80-20 rule, we talk about that in our book, The New Era of Fitness, so you guys can check it out there. But really, this concept of REF, I mean, it's super powerful when you look at it like in the scope of diet and exercise. I'm going to go a little bit deeper like on examples, just one example of diet and exercise. So let me start off with kind of exercise, why this is very important, especially for the entrepreneur, the busy professional, the high power professional, right? Is because time is your biggest nemesis, especially with that. And I've heard so many excuses where it's like, I don't have time, and my schedule's so full, and I'm traveling, and I got to do this and that. And at the end of the day, it's bullshit, right? It's bullshit, like we talk about, because if you're going to put your health and fitness to the forefront, you're going to make time for it, you're going to make it a priority. And if you put it on your schedule as an entrepreneur or a high, powered professional, and it's on that schedule, just like a phone call, just like a meeting, you're going to get it done. Because it's on your schedule and it's a high priority. Okay, right. So I'm tired of hearing that excuse about time and all that stuff. But let's just say for sakes right now, for the excuses, that it is a time thing, right? So this is where REF plays in really, really well with an exercise component. So you have to pick a program that's realistic for basically your schedule, your preferences, and your goals and your lifestyle, right? So if you're that busy entrepreneur and you're traveling maybe, 2-3 times out of like the month, right, for 3-4 days a week, it's not going to probably be realistic for you to follow a 5-day per week training program, right? Because you're going to be in and out of hotels, airports, stuff like that. So maybe a 2 to 3 day per week program is going to be more realistic for that schedule, that lifestyle, right?
Yep.
Now, enjoyable. Maybe, now with this, let's say that you hire a coach or a personal trainer, and that personal trainer puts you on a program to where, you know, he wants you doing powerlifting, he wants you doing bodybuilding style type of workouts, but you absolutely hate that stuff. You don't want anything to do with that. You like more kind of circuit style stuff, keeping your heart rate up, metabolic conditioning type of workouts. Okay, great. Then you need to communicate that with your coach, with your personal trainer, because that E is so important for the enjoyable part, because that's going to make you show up every single day, increase that adherence and consistency, and thus get results. So it has to be enjoyable. Now, flexible. Even if I go back to what I talked about, that person that is traveling 2 to 3 times out of the month, 2-3 days out of the week, whatever it is you want to put it. He's traveling a lot though, and he's in and out of airports and hotels. He has to have a program that's flexible, right? You can't sit there and be like, look, I need you to get 3 or 4 workouts done on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, and you have to do it that way. He has to be able to like make it flexible to where he can maneuver those days around. So if he's doing 3 days per week, he can do it Tuesday, he can do it maybe Friday, he can do it Saturday. He can cram some of those in so long as he gets it done in the scope of 7 days. So it has to be flexible for this person, or else they're not going to adhere to it. They're not going to be consistent. They're going to get frustrated. They're going to quit, right? So that's why ref is so important for an exercise program, talking to the entrepreneur, the busy professional, the person that travels, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And then even like on that note, I mean, if they're not able to, if it's not realistic, enjoyable, and flexible, they're going to just end up program hopping, right?
Exactly.
Which a lot of people do. And it's just like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just, give a program a little bit of chance for your body and your mind to adapt to it, and at least build up to it.
Right. And so let's put the ref into nutrition context for the same person, the busy professional entrepreneur, the busy traveler, whatever it is. The realistic part is, let's say they hear on the internet, or somebody, a coach or personal trainer, tells them, look, I need you to eat 6 meals a day. Okay, it's not going to happen, because that means they're going to have to eat every 2 to 3 hours, right? And that means they got to stop what they're doing. They got to go make their food, warm up their food, eat their food. That's going to consume their time. So it's probably not realistic to have 6
They're
meals.
always subconsciously thinking about my next meal.
Exactly. So
I remember those days, by the way.
probably a more like an intermittent fasting type of approach, to where it's a longer eating gap, 6 to 8 hours, maybe 2 in the lower meal frequency, 2 to 3 meals, is probably going to be more suitable for that person, because it's going to be more realistic, right? Now, enjoyable wise, what if somebody tells this person that, hey, I need you to go on keto, and I need you to go on paleo? And what if this person likes carbohydrates? What if they like a little bit of non-traditional refined foods for 20% of their total calories? Big deal, big deal, 20% of their calories, a couple of, refined food sources, and they want carbohydrates. They're probably not going to enjoy a keto diet or a paleo diet, because the keto diet and the paleo diet police say that you can't have those things. And if you have those things, you're going to get arrested, right? And go to a nutrition court or something like that. So that's not enjoyable for this person. So you got to find something that's enjoyable nutrition-wise, that you're going to be able to follow for days, weeks, and months on end. And flexible in this context for nutrition is, again, you can't sit there and just look at nutrition as black and white, And I'll talk about this in the practical application, but we talk a lot about conceptual nutrition with conceptual nutrition integration within nutrition. That's what it is. I can't think about it. It's been a long time. So conceptual integration within nutrition, that's what it is. So you take different concepts: paleo, keto, calorie counting, high fat, low fat diets, low fat, high fat diets. I think it said that the same, but you get what I'm saying, right? You got to be able to be flexible with taking those different concepts and intertwining them into your lifestyle, your goals, your preferences, your schedule, right? You can't look at it as black and white, where if like you're only on keto, you're only on intermittent fasting diet, you have to stay to that, and if you go off of it, you break the rules, and again, you go to jail or something like that. You have to be flexible, because shit comes up in your schedule, with travel, with kids, with your lifestyle, tragedies, whatever, so you have to be able to be flexible and be able to pivot and adapt.
Yeah, I mean, I 100%
So that's my
agree.
spiel.
Yeah, it's true though. It really is, and that's why we're talking about this, about the realistic, enjoyable, and flexible aspect. And I keep saying it because I want you guys to get really familiar with this acronym, and it's such a simple model to follow. It really is, in the context of exercise and nutrition. And even something I want to bring up, just like, I made a post on this last week about, 3 parts of discipline, because a lot of people would argue and say, well, I'm not really disciplined enough to do this nutrition or training program, or a coach would prescribe something and force that person to do that, right? That's not realistic, enjoyable, flexible for their lifestyle. And then that coach would be like, oh, well, you're just not disciplined. You don't have enough willpower, right? And it's like, no, that's absolute bullshit, right? And, when I talk about these 3 parts of discipline, it's physical, right? Then it's emotional, then it's mental. Those are the 3 parts of discipline. So physically, you got to always kind of be thinking, if you are that high performer, that busy guy, that entrepreneur, it's like, what are you really doing to challenge your physical health? What are you doing to, increase your nutrition, have better habits of eating, right? Taking care of your body. Emotionally wise, what are you doing to sit there and not shame yourself and guilt yourself, when you're not doing this, and bash yourself and have that self-doubt when you're doing a program or doing an exercise type of routine, right? Mm-hmm. And then the mentally part, right? How are you building that 6-pack in the mind? How are you really conditioning your mindset to understand that this is a long game, right? It's not a sprint, it's a marathon with your nutrition and training and your fitness goals. Just like business, mm-hmm. how we preach, it's playing the long game with that. So that's just kind of what I want to just tie in with those 3 parts of discipline, because a lot of people would overlook that.
Yeah, I like that, the 3 parts of discipline. I've never heard of that. Where'd you learn that at?
I got that off of Ty Lopez. Yeah,
man, good old Ty. Yeah, that's good, really, really good. I like that a lot. Ties in really good with fitness and health. Okay, so that's basically the meat and potatoes what we're going to be talking about within REF. Again, I don't want to keep these episodes super long, super complex. I just want to give you guys one concept, one really actionable type of, step that's going to help you increase your fitness and health and get that business ROI, the return on investment on it. But I am going to leave you guys with the practical application that I think is going to really, really help you guys out.
I was going to say you better.
Yeah, and the reason being, again, is we've worked with over thousands of clients the past decade, and these are the type of practices and exercises that we've helped them with, and it's really, really helped them get clear on their fitness and health program and journey. So here's what I want you to do. If you are the entrepreneur, high-level professional, busy person, so I want you to take out 2 pieces of paper, and on one piece of paper you write exercise, and on the other paper you write nutrition. And then so on each of these 2 papers you're going to draw 3 columns, and you're going to write R-E-F, so REF under exercise and REF under nutrition for each piece of paper. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to pick 2 exercise and 2 nutrition concepts under each REF column. Okay, so basically is, for example, for REF under exercise, you're going to pick an exercise program that you're going to be able to follow that's realistic, enjoyable, and flexible. Okay, it can be bodybuilding style, it could be CrossFit, it could be power fit stuff like circuit style training, stuff like that, metabolic conditioning stuff. So just pick boot camps, 2 exercise concepts under REF that you can follow, realistic, enjoyable, and flexible. And I want you to pick 2 nutrition concepts that you can see yourself on, realistic, enjoyable, and flexible. So if you're the type of person that maybe needs intermittent fasting with lower meal frequency, longer eating gaps, something like that, great, pick that as your concept. If you like to sit there and count like your macronutrients, something like that, that's another nutrition concept. So you can intertwine both of those together. That's kind of what we talked about with conceptual integration with nutrition. Hey, if you like, keto diet and then you want to sit there and do intermittent fasting with that, I think you can do that as well too. So pick 2 concepts within nutrition that you can see yourself doing as far as realistic, enjoyable, and flexible, okay? And then after that, I want you guys to test this out for 4 weeks, both the exercise and the nutrition part. 4 weeks, measure your results, and then ask yourself if it was actually REF or if it was realistic, enjoyable, and flexible over 4 weeks. And could you see yourself doing these for days, weeks, months, years on end? And if you can, great. You just found pretty much the right exercise and right diet program. The best ones, kind of how we title this, quote unquote, the best exercise and diet programs to follow for your lifestyle, your goals, your preferences, and your schedule. And if you can't follow it and you don't like the results in 4 weeks, you go back to the drawing board and pick 2 different other concepts within exercise and nutrition and REF. Yeah.
I like those.
Very short.
Yeah, those
very
are
short
great.
and easy.
I'll add one more, just action step, and actually I'm challenging you on this. Just like you challenge yourself to educate yourself, like on your business, acquire more knowledge, leadership, motivation, whatever it is that you do in your expertise. If you're a coach, do the same thing. Just educate yourself in the context of exercise and nutrition, right?
100%.
I think so many people just don't do that, and it's great to have a coach. It's great to have a mentor to teach you all this stuff, but do your own research on this stuff. I mean, literally, maybe 15 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day. Start with that, and I promise you that will add up and compound so much knowledge and awareness, most importantly, around what you're putting in your body, just from like a physiological standpoint, a physical standpoint. I mean, it's just baffles me how a lot of people just don't do that, and it's just like, holy shit, it's like, this is your body, this is what you're putting in there, this is what's going to make you perform, so do your research and just educate yourself a little bit on exercise nutrition. I promise you it will just make a lot more sense going forward, and it'd be a lot more enjoyable, in my opinion.
Yeah, I love that, man. That's just a good way to kind of close out. So yeah, just to kind of recap, this episode was again on REF, realistic, enjoyable, and flexible. And I gave you guys 2 solid examples of how that can be really used in like a practical application. And then I gave you guys a really good practical like exercise that you guys can do with the sheets of paper. So definitely try that out. I promise it'll work wonders. And if you guys want more information on REF, and we have a whole entire chapter I think on this, right, in our book, The New Era of Fitness. So you can check that out at thenewerafitness.com. And as always, if you guys have questions, you guys probably know where to find us in the big browse on social media and stuff like that. And just one last thing, again, the reason why we're doing these business ROI being fit is if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a busy professional, if you're somebody that travels a lot and has a really high demanding job like that, it's not cool anymore to put your health in the back burner. It's not cool to sit there and chase only having your bank account lean, fit, and muscular, which means a lot of money. There's nothing wrong with having a lot of money, but it's not okay at the cost of putting your health and fitness and physical appearance at the back burner anymore. If you're going to do it, play at that elite level as well, with your physical health and appearance and everything like that, so you can get that ROI of being a business owner, professional, and entrepreneur. And trust me, it'll enhance every part of your business, your lifestyle, adventure, experience, the whole shebang.
Yep, absolutely agree.
All right.
I think that is it. All right, guys. So until next time, go out there, live a dynamic lifestyle, and put your health at the forefront.
Oh,
we are out.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. If you guys want more access to podcast interviews and videos just like this, make sure to click the link below so you guys can check out all the other episodes that we have. Also, if you're a personal trainer, a gym owner, or a fitness professional, and you're looking to take your business online, make sure to check out the link below and join our Online Fitness Coaches Personal Mentorship Program. In this program, we actually have 2 live trainings. The first live training is with Eric and I, and we actually teach you guys about sales, marketing, persuasion, social media, how to be a better online fitness coach. And the second live training is with an expert that teaches you stuff just like that, what I just mentioned. Okay, so if you guys are interested in that and also creating more income, influence, and impact and taking your business online, make sure to check out our Online Fitness Coaches Personal Mentorship Program. We'll see you on the inside.